I met you last time in 2009 for the interview. I asked you this question. I want to ask you again. Do you think I can address you as Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim before you die?
Well, I hope you can do it soon, in the next few months. But I'll be very pleased if you still continue to call me Anwar, even at that time. Even when I assume premiership, we should remain friends. And I will certainly love to have an interview with you again in that capacity.
Your Excellency Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, welcome to Bangkok and thank you very much for joining me. I have been waiting for more than 20 years to address you as Prime Minister and finally I can address you as Prime Minister.
Thank you.
How's your life has been different as being Prime Minister and Prime Minister in waiting?
Well, you waited for too long. That when you achieve that, it's just like normal. You've been thinking about it, you plan, and I am as comfortable as I was before. So nothing has changed. My mannerism, my contact. Although the burden of office is, of course, something else, and you have to deal with the problems of the state, and we have to work really, really hard.
But are you happier?
Well, happy in a sense that you don't have that pressure, now pressure of work, not the pressure of harassment and intimidation. And it's of course quite a relief.
Your premiership is approaching 100 days. Is this still honeymoon period for you?
Not really, because from day one, I have my colleagues getting the clear message, all committed. We work very hard. We don't have a clear time frame, whether it's a week or a month or a year. The point is from day one, we have to set the parameters right, because we are talking about good governance, ridding the country of corruption, which has become systemic, which means the challenge is serious. And we have also some glimmer of racial tension and religious animosity, which we have to deal with. But I believe the majority of Malaysians remain sane, understanding that we can live up to our belief, but we have the country to preserve and secure.
Regarding your visit to Thailand, your schedule is very packed, about 48 hours. But yesterday you have discussion with Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha, and it's been expected highly out of your visit that it will lead to peace process in Thailand, especially the role of Malaysia. Can you tell me what you discussed with him, frankly, about the south of Thailand?
Well, with Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha and Deputy Prime Minister General Prawit, who's of course dealing with some issues in the south, we discussed extensively because it's been going on for decades. The difference being it is an internal matter within Thailand. So we can come in only as a facilitator when requested. And I told Prime Minister Prayut that in a small way, with your agreement, I would do whatever is necessary, talking to our friends in the south, engaging with them, and also engaging with those in Bangkok. There is trust deficit. Is it true that there is not going to be intimidation? Is it true that their welfare, that their religion and culture and language be protected? I believe it is true. I mean, it's not just a matter of what the government had said, but it's from their action. So we'll have to then ensure that the negotiations and meetings take place more often, and some of the issues raised must be dealt with and addressed. But what cannot be considered or compromised is our position against any form of violence.
Formally, Malaysia has appointed new facilitator. Can you do more on top of having facilitator for Malaysia?
Well, only one facilitator who was formerly chief of the armed forces, who was a friend to many of the key generals here, and that has helped immensely in the negotiations, in the process of negotiations. But what is more important is not just one man; it's a commitment. Number one, both prime ministers. Number two, both security agencies. Number three, the issue of socio-economic development, not only for South Thailand but also for North Malaysia, North Malaya, not North Malayan Peninsula, and both in terms of bilateral and also the triangle, which involves part of Indonesia. So we have to revive that. And I think there's just a consensus. I think Prime Minister Prayut was also very positive in this sort of initiative. I can't say for now, but from reading the notes of past meetings, this has been most frank, most forthcoming, and a commitment to proceed to ensure that there is a special sort of effort to enhance bilateral relations, border security, avoiding smuggling, trade, investments, joint development, cultural, education. It has been so positive, and I'm very encouraged.
In your press conference, you said peace in the south of Thailand is paramount in this situation, but by doing all means necessary. What do you mean by that?
We have to listen to them and listen also to those in charge in Bangkok and deal on the specific issues. Everybody talks about peace. Everyone talks about justice. But if you can listen to the grievances and deal with it specifically, but again, on top of all this is socioeconomic development. And people will be busy in development, busy in their jobs, and at the same time, their interest of the minority groups, both either religious or groups, as part of the Thai context, is respected. I mean, I told Prime Minister General Prayut that in Malaysia, we are also making that departure. I don't want any citizen, be it a Muslim or Buddhist or Christian or Hindu, to feel that they are marginalized in any way. I mean, so sometimes it's not true. Sometimes it's a perception. So we have to correct the perception. Sometimes it's not the policy, not the leaders, but the enforcement agencies, the players on the ground. So all these things can be addressed. But these are not really issues that is not unsurmountable. They can be dealt with. In my exchanges with not only the two, the Deputy Prime Minister and other ministers, but I sense there is this ray of hope. The people are look. We want to develop our countries. We want to have. Therefore, we need to have excellent relations with our neighbor. It is a common border. It's no joke. And unfortunately, the border areas are for us from Malaysia also relatively the poorer areas, and similarly in Thailand. So our common resolve is to uplift. That's why there was a misunderstanding where I say, look, develop South Thailand. I should say should also develop North Malayan Peninsula. So if it is joint effort, it will help.